Pace car is in. Scott Moran sets the pace as he brings the field around. Green flags are out, and we are underway.
And look at Mr. Mayberry. Zoom right out there. 3 abreast in the second row. Wow, wow, hang on. And out of it comes Foster along with Stakey as Scott Moran is drop kicked back to 4th place.
Boy, oh boy, look at that traffic jam. Oh boy. Whoa, Nelly, they say. Looks like 84 at 5 o'clock in Hartford.
Here they come off the turn. Lap number 1 is now history, and Mayberry hangs on the lead, but here comes Foster. Williams gets into the grass area, but comes out of it okay, holds his position. Field starting to stretch out, but look at the battle up front now. It's for the lead.
It is Scott Foster in the 22 and John Mayberry in the 7. They are slugging it out for this first spot. Look at them compete side by side as they exit the turn and head down the front straightaway. We have a problem up in turn number 4. It is the Rick Medevere car. He made contact with the Armco, but is able to drive away. We remain under green. Apparently no debris, no nothing. Right, we're still smoking.
We love it. So far in the late model division, it's been the Chuck Zentarski-Larry Vassar show, each with 2 victories. Who will it be tonight?
Don't count out such drivers as Bim Adams in the 16, Chuck Doherty in the 02. Both of those drivers more than able, as is Cliff Stakey in car number 66. A lot of drivers able to make the move to the front of this pack. George Greco, car number 21, a long ways back for him. He, too, very, very capable of taking down a win. But Scott Foster right now out in front with that 22, the Bootman Sons paving machine, and Foster has run very, very well here tonight.
And keep an eye on Chuck Doherty. Doherty is overdue for a victory. He now takes over the number 4 spot, and he's going to challenge for the number 3 position. Here he comes, down low. He's got the edge coming off turn 4. And it's Doherty now running in 3rd place.
He opens the door. Barry Metcalf follows suit, as does Cliff Stakey. They're all looking to make that run down low. The 16 of Bim Adams, and look who is next. Larry Vassar in the 78 automobile started 15th on the grid and now finds himself all the way up into, well into the top 10. And he is on a forced march to the front.
Keep an eye on Mr. Foster, however. He has tasted victory lane before. He's got a good edge. If they stay under green, he has a good chance with the lead he's built up over Mayberry and the rest of the pack. Here comes Doherty now, closing in on the number 2 car. And that's John Mayberry in car number 7. Here he comes, Doherty tightening in, goes to the low side, rim rides a bit as they come off 4, can't make the move.
Greco and Zentarski are stuck in the back half of this field. They're having a terrible time trying to get up through and make a run for the lead. Meanwhile, Doherty challenges on the inside, makes it look easy, puts Mayberry back a spot, and Chuck Doherty, just as you mentioned, Raleigh, is on a roll and running very, very strong here tonight. He is now into the 2nd spot. So it is car number 22, Scott Foster out in front, followed by the 02 of Doherty. Here comes Stakey, Cliff Stakey now out of Southington. Puts that black number 66 to the inside of Mayberry. Makes it look easy, but boy, Mayberry is giving him a real tussle through 3 and 4. Here comes Vassar now. That white number 78 and the 16 of Bim Adams. And the 38 and another, well, let's say 2-3 cars all make contact. And catching the worst for wear is car number 38 for Rick Medevere.
And the one thing Scott Foster did not want to happen was a caution. He's got it now.
Lane as Peter Locke takes the piece car in. Green flag back out, and Raleigh, once again, we are underway. And they exit turn 4, and Doherty and Foster run side by side. Through 1 and 2, who will it be? Foster gets a good bite down low. Cliff Stakey now sticks the nose of the 66 underneath Doherty, but Chuck is able to close the door, and he drops into a good solid 2nd. So it continues to be the 22 of Foster, but he gets up high, gets around sideways, and now here comes Chuck Doherty. Boy, oh boy, Raleigh looked into his crystal ball a little bit earlier.
Wow, and here comes Cliff Stakey now. He'll challenge for the number 2 spot. Stakey in the 66. And look who's running in 4th place, Larry Vassar, working his way through the pack. Ben Adams runs in 5th. Stakey now with that battle with Foster here. They come off turn 4, and it's Stakey in the number 2 spot.
Nobody in this division wants to look in the rearview mirror and see that white number 78. It has been a very potent combination. Larry Vassar and the J.G. Poulin-sponsored car number 78 all season long. And as Cliff Stakey feels good about being in second, he's got to be very, very concerned about the fact that Larry Vassar is right there knocking at the door. Bim Adams has now moved the LeBron boys well, drilling car number 16. Right up challenge as well. He's up into the top 5.
John Mayberry out of the action in car 7. Out of turn number 2, it's George Greco moving into 7th place, car 21. Working his way from the back of the pack. He gets way up high, though. But keep an eye on Greco. He's running very, very well now. Car 21, very strong. Here comes Stakey, a bit for the lead. Cliff Stakey underneath Chuck Doherty, side by side down the backstretch. Great action here in the late model division. Larry Vassar right there waiting for an opening. Who will it be off turn 4? Here comes Stakey with the lead to the line. 14 laps now complete, 11 to go.
Cliff Stakey also not a stranger to victory lane, so we've got a lot of those top hot shoes right up in the front of this pack. Now Vassar is able to put Chuck Doherty back in spot, and here comes Scott Foster back to challenge Doherty one more time. It is anybody's race, and right now Cliff Stakey is the leader. As they exit turn 4, Vassar now just playing the part of the fisherman, trying to reel him in. And it looks like he's going to have his work cut out for him to do just that, as Foster once again looks for running room underneath Chuck Doherty. Bim Adams sits there just waiting to make his move as well, as does the Polish rocket Chuck Zentarski.
Well, certainly if there's a perseverance award, you have to give it to Scott Foster. He's really worked his way back very nicely, now bidding for the number 3 spot. Meanwhile, Vassar is closing in on our leader. Inch by inch, but he is gaining ground. Meanwhile, that battle for 3rd goes on. Foster and Doherty now side by side. Bim Adams right there, awaiting an opening.
And Zentarski just absolutely nothing he can do until some decisions are made in front of him. Let's see how those decisions are reached. Foster now has a slight advantage off the turn. Will he be able to lead into turn 3? The answer is no. And what a great, great race we've got going between Scott Foster and Doherty. Doherty gets almost sideways between 3 and 4. They swap a little bit of paint, but everybody goes. 4 cars rolling under a blanket. And here comes Greco.
Great action for that number 3 spot. Here comes Foster again. Doherty surges back on the outside, gets a little bit ahead of Foster. Into the turn they come. Who will it be out of the 5? It's still Foster. They lean on each other out of turn 4.
It looks like a 100-mile-an-hour pace lap as the late models really battle it out for position number 3. Zentarski gets up in the 2 leads.
Way up. And that drops him back. But as we come to the line, our leader will have just 5 laps to go.
Down on the inside now, Foster, for the first time in about 9 circuits, is able to pull out in front. Bim Adams now challenges Doherty. And Chuck's tires really have to be giving up the ghost here. He has run that high groove all evening long, and it has been a tough way to go for him. Greco is right there with car number 21, the Shark. They have now decided that they'd like to run single file for a couple of laps. And you can't say as you blame him. It is Cliff Stakey, car number 66, as the laps really begin to tick on down to a precious few. He has, believe it or not, been able to open things up on Larry Vassar. And Stakey has about a 5 to 6 car length advantage as they head down the back chute. This time by, we have only 2 circuits remaining in this one. 2 times around the park for Cliff Stakey. Stakey pulls up alongside the 88. Puts him down a circuit. While all that is going on, Larry Vassar has managed to close within about 3 car lengths. have time. He has one lap to do it. White flag is out this time. Stakey and Vassar. And it is Foster, Greco, Adams. Final circuit. Cliff Stakey out of Southington, Connecticut. A sponsor-wanted automobile into turn number 3. Larry Vassar closes Kenny Makins. They exit 4, head for home, and Cliff Stakey grabs the win from Vassar, followed by the 22 of Foster, the 21 of Greco, the 16 of Adams, the 8 of Stafford. That, of course, is very unofficial, but there is no question at all but what Larry Vassar followed Cliff Stakey across the line in tonight's feature event for the late model stock cars, and what a great race that was. We do it every Friday night right here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. It started a little bit before 8 o'clock. Everybody passes inspection, and if they do, this is the way that they will be scored for finishing. Cliff Stakey will grab the win, followed by the 78 of Larry Vassar, the 22 of Scott Foster, the 21 of George Greco, and the 16 of Bim Adams to round out the top 5. Then it is car number 8 for Chuck Zentarski, the 4 of Tom Butler, the 02 of Chuck Doherty. Cut the scale. So he makes the trip around and will head for the scale. His mind right now, however, after taking down the win. Cliff Stakey out of Southington, Connecticut, wheels car number 66 into victory lane, and he is greeted by a very happy crew. Chris Hopkins there to extend congratulations. Longtime friend Jimmy Milo makes it out onto the racetrack to extend congratulations as well. Here he is, your winner tonight, Cliff Stakey. Raleigh, take it away.
Okay, here he comes. Congratulations all around, that's for sure. Well, Cliff, Chris Hopkins had to say to you, smile, Cliff, and it didn't take much to make you do that.
Well, I'm sorry for the delay here. I mean, I was in Wawa land coming off that fourth turn. I know I should have gone over the scales. I'm sorry for the delay, folks. It's my fault, but I got a lot of people to thank. We had 2 bad weeks right in a row. My crew, they stuck with me through thick and thin. They're the best crew I've ever had. We've gelled together so well. And this is just my new year here. I just got married about 2 months ago. My new wife, father-in-law, everybody, and we're pumped up. I'm psyched. I'm ready to go. I got to thank some people here, though. Arch Service Station in Cheshire there. He's one hell of a nice guy. Thank God I got him. He's not a big sponsor, but to me, he's one of the big ones, just like Winston Cup. I'd also like to thank TA Motors, because without the power plant underneath this hood, we had to do some tinkering this week. It's amazing. Big motor, might cost a little bit, but it's all worth it in the end. There's no doubt about it. I'd like to thank my crew, Scotty, Craig, Larry, Peter, my father, my wife, everybody. They've been such a big help. Thank you very much.
Well, Cliff, is certainly a deserved win because you ran very, very well in that race. A very smooth race for you.
Yes, it was. I looked in my mirror and I saw my best friend there, Larry Vassar, and I said, we got to crank it up, because if I mess up just one little bit, I said, he's a veteran. He's going to take advantage of it, and there's only one place to go, and that's backwards, and we don't want that. We need this for the morale of my team. We really do.
Well, that's great. It's win number 4 for you here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Your last one was back in July, and I'm sure it's the biggest one yet.
Oh, yes, it is. 4th of July show was very big for us. Double point show was really good. This one here, every win's a big win for us. You can survive this. You've run against the best. You beat Greco, you beat Zentarski, and I beat Larry. And hey, what can I say?
Way to go, Cliff Stakey.
And Clifford, if we could take and make life just a little bit sweeter for you, you have been voted by the members of the media to receive the Quest for Success Award from the folks at CarQuest, and as a result, you pick up a cool $100 for your efforts, courtesy of your local CarQuest Auto Parts store. Congratulations to Cliff Stakey.